Hello and welcome to this lecture in consumer behavior and marketing communication. The topic that we are going to discuss today is about ad budgeting and methods of ad budgeting. Let us move to our first slide of the lecture. First, we have to understand what do we mean by an ad budget. So, let us focus on the word budget first. Budget is when we allocate money for some purpose. The money allocation is called budgeting. Same in advertising also. It's written here, ad budget is the amount of money allocated by an organization for advertising of its products and services. So, now let us understand this. An organization has some products or some services to sell in the market, for the advertising of which it has to allocate some money. The amount of money that the organization is allocating for this purpose is called ad budget. Ad budget forms an important cost factor irrespective of the size of the company, which means that the company might be small or it might be a large organization. The product might have a definite customer area or it might have a larger area, but advertisement budgeting is something which is important for companies of all sizes irrespective of the size, the products or the services that they are selling. So, every company has to follow this process of ad budgeting while they are doing advertising. Budget decisions have to be made carefully, as these may increase or drain away the profitability. Now, if a company is allocating a budget which is larger than required, then this is going to decrease the profitability. On the other hand, if the company is allocating the money which is less than what is required, the advertising will not happen properly, and therefore, it is for the company to allocate a proper budget for the advertising activities, an optimal budget which can actually maximize its sales in the longer run. So, it is a very challenging activity and the company has to do ad budgeting very carefully. Now, if you look at the last point written in the slide, it says that the most important objective of ad budgeting is to avoid overspending and yet maintaining the image of the company. So, like we said, that advertising budgeting is a challenging activity. It involves allocation of money for advertising. Now, when you are allocating money, the company has to take care that the money allocated is neither more than required nor less than required. It has to be an optimal allocation. Such an allocation will actually maximize the sales of the company. If the allocation is more than required, it is going to drain away the profits, it is going to decrease the revenue, and if it is less than required, then it is not going to produce much of impact. Therefore, ad budgeting has to be optimal and it has to be done in a very careful manner. Next slide. Factors considered for preparation of ad budget. Now, preparation of ad budget is not such an easy thing. A company has to consider many factors before a good ad budget is prepared. So, what are the factors which are considered by the company before they prepare an ad budget or before they actually decide the amount of money which is to be allocated for advertisements? Here are the factors written. Let us take a quick look at all these factors. The first factor is stage of product life cycle. The second factor is market share. The third factor is level of competition in the market. The fourth factor and the second last factor that they have to consider is advertising frequency, and last but not the least, they have to consider the nature of the product and services. Now, not just these five, but there are other factors also, but these five are the most important factors that the organization has to consider while preparing their ad budget. Now, we are going to discuss each of these factors one by one, so that we can gain clarity over it. The first factor says the life cycle, the stage of product life cycle. Now, as we know that the product has to go through various stages during its life cycle. The various stages that the product comes across during its life cycle is introduction, then it goes through a growth phase, then it goes through a maturity phase, and finally, there is a decline. So, if we see, then there are 4 stages in the life cycle of a product, namely introduction, then growth, then maturity, and finally decline. Before allocating budget or before preparing the ad budget, a company has to make sure, a company has to understand and it has to consider the life cycle stage in which the product or the service of the company lies. For example, if the company is introducing a product in the market or introducing a service in the market, it might have to allocate a larger budget for the advertising purpose, because at this stage the company has to create a lot of awareness among the people, so that they can come to know about the product or service. Similarly, if the product is in its growth phase, even then it has to allocate considerable ad budget, so that the people can, they can be they can given a lot of information about the product and service, and they can continue purchasing it. While when the product or service is in the maturity phase, the ad budget is allocated, which is comparatively less as compared to other stages, because at this time, in this stage of the product life cycle, the product is already very popular with the public, with the consumers, and people are consistently purchasing it, and the company has already made an army of loyal consumers. In the decline phase is a little tricky, because when the product or the service is in the decline phase, it is up to the company to decide whether they want to relaunch the product after innovation, or whether they want to spend more money on the advertising, so that the sale of the product can go up. So, when the product is in the decline phase, it actually depends on the company, which has got two choices: either it can decrease the ad budget and take the product away from the market and relaunch it later, or the company can also increase the ad budget so as to increase the sales of the product by making people more aware. Next point is market share. Now, this is very obvious to understand, and it makes a lot of sense that if a company is having a small market share, and if the company is struggling to gain market share, then the ad budget of the company would be large. The company will be spending more on advertisement, so that it can increase its sale, so that it can make more consumers, and it can gain a larger market share in the longer run. While when a company has already captured majority of market and it has already got a large market share, at that time the company can allocate an optimal ad budget, or it can work with a lower ad budget also. Level of competition in the market. Now, the third point says, it talks about the competition in the market. Now, as we know that the level of competition in the market may vary. There can be market like monopoly, in which only one seller exists, and there can be market which are called monopolistic competitive markets, where a large number of sellers exist. So, depending on the competition which exists in the market, the company or the organization has to allocate its ad budget, or has to prepare the ad budget. Normally, when the competition is very high, when there are many competitors around, at that time ad budget also has to be kept high, so that you can compete with your competitors, so that you can beat them, so that you can make more people aware, so that you can pull more crowd from the market to purchase your product or services. On the other hand, if there are only one or two sellers, or if there is a monopoly market, at that time you can also go ahead, or a company or an organization can go ahead with a lower ad budget also. The fourth point talks about advertising frequency. Now, advertising frequency is the number of times your ad is given in a particular time period. So, let us say in a month, if a TV ad appears 20 times, so monthly frequency of that advertisement is 20. So, advertising frequency is directly proportional to the amount of money that is being spent on advertisement. So, if the advertising frequency is large, normally the company will spend more on advertisement, so ad budget will be higher, and it has to prepare the ad budget accordingly. And if the ad frequency is less, if the advertising frequency is less, if the ad is being shown less number of times in a week or in a month, then the spending on advertising is also less, and therefore, the company has accordingly, it has got to prepare the ad budget. So, ad budget will also be low. So, preparation of ad budget will also depend on the frequency of the advertisement, like how many number of times will the advertisement be shown on television, or will have to be printed on the newspaper in a given time period, in a week or in a month, or etc. Last but not the least, the point says, it talks about nature of product or services. Now, by nature of product or services, I mean that there are certain products or there are certain services for which you have to take a larger budget. You have to make people aware. People are not aware if your product or services are very new. For example, we can take 2 to 3 years back, there was this occasion where these applications were being launched for money transfer, like UPI applications were being launched. So, these were very, very new services at that time, and a lot of people were not aware about these services. So, when people are not aware about your product or service, or when your product or service is relatively very new in the market, at that time the advertisement budget has to be kept higher, because a larger number of people are to be made aware about the product and services, and then they have to be drawn to use these products and services. So, advertisement expenditure normally goes up. While if the product is already very popular, it is a household product, it is very popular, a lot of people are using it. So, in such a case, the ad budget can be kept lower also, because the product is already very popular. So, depending on the nature of the product and service, also the ad budget can vary, and your organization has to accordingly prepare the ad budget, keeping this in mind. So, these were the products, these were the various points or various factors which were considered for preparation of ad budget. Now, let us talk about the budgeting approaches. There are normally two approaches which are followed so far as ad budget is concerned. One is called the top down approach, and the other is called the bottom up approach. Now, let us take one by one both the approaches and try to understand what these approaches say. The top down approach talks about the top management. The top management decides, or it decides a limit for the ad budget, and then this limit is then conveyed to the various departments, to the marketing department specifically. So, top down approach says that in this approach the top management sets the spending limit, which is passed on to the various departments, particularly to the marketing department. So, it is the top management that does the decision, and then the decision is conveyed. So, such an approach is called top down approach, while there is another approach which is called the bottom up approach. Now, as the approach suggests, here what is done is, firstly the objectives of advertisements are set, and according to these objectives there are certain areas, certain tasks which are then scheduled, and then the cost of performing each and every task is calculated, and after the cost of performing each and every task is calculated, the various kinds of costs are added up, and then a final amount, a final budget is then reached upon, and then this is conveyed to the top management, which then gives its approval. So, top down approach starts from the level of the departments and goes up to the top management, which has to approve or disapprove the budget which is decided. While in case of top down approach, it is the management that decides everything. So, it is like from the bottom towards, from the top towards the bottom, while bottom up approach starts from the bottom towards the top. Moving ahead, budgeting methods. These are the 5 very popular methods which are mentioned here for ad budgeting. Let me read out the names first, and then we will come to each and every method, and we will try to understand through an examples. The first method is affordability method. Then there is a second method called competitive parity method for ad budgeting. The third method talks about percentage of turnover method for ad budgeting. The fourth method is objectives and tasks method for ad budgeting, and last but not the least, we have the fifth method called regression analysis. Now, what we will do is we will come to each and every method one by one, and then we will try to understand each and every method through an example. So, let me move to the next slide. So, the first method here is affordability method. Affordability method is actually, affordability means how much a company or an organization can afford. So, here in affordability method, the most important thing is the limit that the organization or the company can afford. So, the company has to check its pockets first, and it is written here that in this method of ad budgeting, organizations spend on advertising only what they can afford. So, in this method, the approach that the organization adopts is, it has to first take care of all its expenses, the fixed expenses, etc., etc. And after calculating all the expenses, whatever is left and how much it can afford, according to that the ad budget is prepared. Normally, the smaller organizations and the small firms and the small companies that do not have a lot of revenue and that they are going on with normal medium earnings, such companies and such organizations actually use this method. So, in this method the organization allocates budget for advertising after meeting all its other expenses such as the production expenses. So, the company will meet out all its expenses such as rent, salaries, various kinds of other expenses, the bills of electricity, etc., etc., and after that whatever amount is remaining, from that amount the advertisement expenditure is then decided and ad budget is allocated. It is difficult to ascertain whether the budget allocated will give desired results or not. Yeah, it is very difficult to ascertain, and it is very difficult to actually predict any kind of fixed result from this kind of method, because the company does not know that the ad budget that it is allocating will give it a desired result or not. Because if in affordability method, the biggest thing is that the company's allocation may vary according to its financial position. So, when a company's financial position goes up, its affordability increases. When the company's financial position goes down or it suffers losses in the short run, the affordability decreases. So, because there are fluctuations, so it is very difficult to ascertain whether a particular allocation will give it a desired result or not. And it is also difficult to calculate in this method, it is also difficult to calculate the optimal allocation of ad budget. So, this is what we call affordability method, in which the company will allocate the budget according to the affordability. Moving to the next method, competitive parity. Now, competitive parity method is a very popular method for allocating ad budget. As we can understand from the name itself, the name says competitive parity method. So, it means that here the ad budget will be allocated keeping in mind what competitors are doing. So, this is a very strategic method in which not only the organization not only keeps an eye on its own activities and its own budget, but it also keeps an eye on what competitors are doing. So, in this method of ad budgeting, organizations try to match their budget with their rivals or competitors. Now, the logic behind this method is because these companies are operating in the same industry. So, they are operating, the nature of the product and service is more or less similar. The kind of customers that they are dealing with are more or less similar. So, the industry conditions are more or less similar. For example, if we can take the example of aviation industry. So, in the aviation industry, there are a few organizations, and these organizations are actually working under similar type of conditions. They are all operating flights from one place to the other. They are all taking consumers. They all have the business class and the economy class segments, and therefore, all the conditions almost remain the same. And therefore, it is very important that an organization also keeps an eye on what the competitor is doing, because if your competitor is allocating a larger budget for something, and then if your organization is allocating smaller budget for advertising, then you might be at loss. So, therefore, what you are doing is important, but it is also equally important to keep an eye on what your competitor is doing. The information regarding the ad budget of rivals is found in business magazines, journals and annual reports of the company. It is very important to keep an eye on what the rival is doing, and the information about what rival is doing or the competitor is doing can be found in business magazines, it can be found in journals, it can be found in research papers, it can be found in various other web sources also. So, from there an organization can come to know about its competitor, and then it can increase or decrease its own ad budget accordingly. Not only the budget, but the organizations also try to match advertising media frequency, etc. So, in the competitive parity method, actually the organizations or the companies, they try to match their efforts or their entire advertising efforts with their competitors. So, if the media that the competitor is using is television, or if the media is web media, then the organization or that particular company will also try to match up with those efforts. It will also start using television as the media of advertising or web as the media of advertising. Even advertising frequency has to be matched sometimes. So, if the rival is showing the ad, let us say 3 times a week, so the particular organization will also show its ads 3 times a week or 10 times a month or whatever the rival is doing. So, this is very important, and we can take many examples. Aviation industry is just one example. We can also take the example of Coca-Cola and Pepsi. So, these are 2 rivals and they are working in a duopoly market. So, if one company starts an advertisement campaign in a certain way, the other company also normally follows its rival. Organizations believe that by following this method, they can make the optimal expenditure that can lead to stability in the market. So, this is the logic behind following the competitive parity method, because 1, you come to know what your competitor is doing. 2, you can match your entire advertising and marketing efforts with your rivals, and 3, it can lead to a kind of stability where the rivals are doing what the other is doing. So, that is what competitive parity method is all about. So, in competitive parity, what the competition is, what the competitor is doing and how the competition is reacting towards the market makes a lot of importance. After this, we move to another method which is called percentage of turnover method. Now, turnover means the revenue which the company is getting from the market in a particular time, normally during a year. So, this is a much simpler method in which the company takes into account the revenue that it is gaining from the market during one particular year, and a percentage of that revenue is then allocated for advertisement. So, the ad budget is actually equal to a certain percentage of the total revenue that the company gets from the market in a particular year. So, in this method, a percentage amount of the sales as decided is allocated for advertising expenditure. The percentage can be based on the last year's sales. Now, let me tell you that deciding this percentage can be tricky. The percentage has to be based on some logic. The percentage has to be based on certain situations, and a number of factors are considered before deciding this percentage. Normally, what a company does is it takes this percentage on the basis of its last year's percentage, but then before taking this percentage, before deciding this percentage, it can also do a lot of calculations and takes into account a lot of factors, and then the percentage is decided. So, the percentage can be based on last year's sales, or sales can be projected for the next year and percentage expenses can be incurred accordingly. So, there is an example which is mentioned as the last point in the slide. Now, if we take that example, we can easily understand this method. If the sales in the year ending 2020 are rupees 80 lakhs, so a company which is having which is selling some product in the market or some service in the market is having a total annual sales of 80 lakhs, let us say by the end of the year 2020, and the percentage that it has decided is 10%. So, 10% of the total sales of 2020 will be allocated for advertising. So, ad budget will be 10% of total sales in 2020. So, because the total sales are 80 lakhs and 10% of this amount has to be allocated for advertising, therefore, the advertising budget will be equal to rupees 8 lakhs, which is 10% of 80 lakhs. So, taking this example, we can clearly understand what this method is all about, that is percentage of turnover method. After this, we move to the next slide. The next slide talks about objectives and tasks method. So, in this, the process of budget allocation starts with deciding advertising objectives. Now, there can be various objectives when advertising is done. The objective can be to create awareness, the objective can be to increase the sales, the objective can be to attract a particular number of consumers, and all these objectives can be taken at one time also. So, first you have to decide the objective. After deciding the objectives, what an organization normally does is according to the objectives that it has decided, it has to break those objectives into a number of tasks which are then performed to achieve that objective. So, establishing objective is the first point. The second point is to determine specific tasks, and after determining specific tasks, the cost for each and every task is then calculated, and all these various costs are then summed up, and the sum total is reached, and that sum total is the ad budget that the company allocates. So, in objectives and task method, firstly the company has to decide objectives which are broken down into tasks, and the cost of performing each and every task is then calculated, and then according to which the total amount of the advertisement expenditure is then calculated. Then we come to regression analysis. In regression analysis, this is a statistical method, and it is a little sophisticated method as compared to the other methods. Regression analysis is all based on past data, the historical data, and in regression analysis, two types of variables are considered, the expenditure as well as the sales. So, advertisement expenditure is studied for a number of years, or let us say number of quarters, and then sales are also studied, and therefore, an optimal expenditure is then reached upon using some statistical operations of regression, and therefore, this is how we allocate budget in regression analysis. So, through regression analysis, the values of dependent variable can be predicted at various levels of independent variable. Our dependent variable will be sales, and the independent variable will be ad budget, and then accordingly a budget can be allocated. So, before we reach to the end of this presentation, I would once again like to recall the various methods that we studied in this presentation. The first was affordability method, the second was competitive parity method, the third was percentage of turnover, the fourth was objectives and task method, and the fifth was regression analysis. So, all these 5 methods are used by organizations according to their choice and according to various other factors which we already studied, and then one of the methods is used for preparing the ad budget. So, before we come to the end of the slide show, I would once again like to recall the various methods that we studied in the slide show. The first method was competitive parity, and then we also studied about various other methods in which the budget allocation was being done to advertisement, like competitive parity method, percentage of sales method, and in the last we studied about the method in which the budget allocation was being done according to the affordability. We also studied about the method in which you were calculating the ad budget according to various tasks and objectives, and therefore, all these methods are being summed up in this slide. I am Ashish Avasthi from IMS Engineering College, and I would like to tell you my email ID. Kindly note it down: ashish.awasthi@imsec.ac.in. For any questions or any kind of confusions that you come across, please write to me on my email ID, and I will be rather very happy to reply you back in the best possible way. So, that is the end of this lecture on ad budget and various methods of ad budgeting in the subject of consumer behavior and marketing communication. Here is Ashish Avasthi once again welcome you to my lecture. Thank you so much.